I feel like
I recently quit smoking. Off we go. Off we go. My practice is mostly painting, but in fact, what drives it is really the logic of moving image. So the end result is often not just painting, but also elements like sound installation, sculpture, and then promotional material. This sort of like thin layer between kind of reality and pretension is something that's really driving my work. You know, when you watch a lot of film and TV, especially as a kid, as I did when I was growing up in Slovenia, and everything on TV was very much like American culture. After socialism, it was really pushed as a sort of step towards capitalism. That reality that I was observing on the TV became very real to me. It became more familiar than the reality that was actually around me. So that's a part of a shame I feel sometimes that my own culture, 3/4 Slovenian, 1/4 Serbian culture, is kind of became inferior in that hierarchy. So yeah, I think it has like a huge power, and there's like a thin line when these worlds meet. And it's interesting to use that system against itself almost. I'm always trying to expand what we usually see. One kind of consistent material I always work with is shame, often my own, of course. And that kind of very complex relationship between desire and shame, because they're quite intertwined. And I don't mean that just like in a very kind of sexual sense. Usually you're gonna get about 7 layers on each painting, using one layer with one color and kind of weaving colors in between to get that complexity and then eventually get to the final color that I want. So the reference I have printed out there is the first time that I actually did it. Because, you know, you see all these artists' studio visits and videos, and everyone always has all this amazing material on their wall. And I was like, okay, I have to print one out and see if that actually works. But actually, it's very simple the way I use kind of references, usually just on the computer because of the intensity of color. And when it comes to painting itself, it's quite a lot about feeling it out and being able to improvise and be quite free in the process. It's actually like a very bad reference in a sense. It's just there to sort of convey a certain cut, or most importantly, the point of view, to actually activate the viewer to kind of position themselves very actively in front of the painting. When I'm staging scenes, as I call them, for paintings, I take photos. There's like a very specific way in which you position yourself with the hunting light. You already have a location within that hierarchy between the one viewing and, let's say, the prey or like the subject. You know, all my work is kind of like a slippage of the moment that's captured on canvas. The work I'm working on behind me now, it's a slightly zoomed out perspective of the one that's now included on the postcard, the hunter. Something very intimate and tender, but at the same time there's kind of something alarming about a reflection. That's what cinema tells us. I'm working on an even more zoomed out version of that in the third painting now. But still there's something cropped out. Still there's like, we're a little bit too late. You can never like entirely catch it.